guys, Chris down here, aka the Boogie Man. It has been like forever since we did an episode, so we're gonna jump right back in. It's November something, about a week or so before Thanksgiving. So let's recap the Boogie Man's 2021 race season. I'm actually happy where we're at. A lot of people probably think, well, they didn't show nothing and we didn't win a race, but the majority of the races we went to this year, we qualified in the top 5. Not bad, knowing that we've been sitting out for like 4 years. So I'd say we did pretty good, truth be known. Built new power plant, which is this one here. This is Yum Yum Eat 'em Up version 3.0, which is a badass engine. Record-making horsepower out of a true 23-degree engine. It makes over 2 horsepower per cubic inch, and we're not even gonna get into the torque, but it makes well over 600 foot-pounds of torque. So, recapping, we just come from the Shadyside Race. We have had the worst time trying to get the car to like the engine. The car don't like the engine. What I mean by that is, on bad passes, it's running 540s now, but it don't like it. It's got a bad tire shake issue. The car's just nasty all over the track. So once we get that cleaned up, there ain't a doubt in my mind, we'll be down in the 530s and maybe even a little bit lower, because that's 540s using the clutch too. So, you know, we just have to throw that in because we are using the clutch. So we'll recap Shadyside Saturday. Let's go back to Friday evening. We get to the track. We go to do a test hit. We leave, it shakes the tire so bad, we hit second gear, we bust the second gear faceplate. So we get pulled back to the pit. It hangs up so bad that you can't even get it out of first. So what we do is we go back to pit, we jerk the transmission, we go down to Roby at G-Force Transmissions, at G-Force South. Listen guys, they're just a bomb. The G-Force guys are so helpful. Give them a call, G-Force South, talk to Roby, or any of the guys at G-Force South will help you. But anyway, we got to his little booth he has set up at the races. We tore the transmission down, we fixed it, put new parts in it. Man, they was awesome, and they do that for a reasonable price. So you just can't even beat it, you know? So look them up, G-Force South. You're gonna talk to Roby. They got the best drag racing transmission for this 4-speed stuff and some 5-speed stuff for quarter mile. So look them up, they're good guys. Now, we get the transmission back in, go make us a pass. We're still bouncing and carrying on and shaking the tires, and we've been shaking the tires for the last few times in test sessions. We only had like 7 passes on this engine when we showed up at Shadyside this past Friday a week ago. The car don't like the engine. Or let me say that the setup we have in the car is not liking the engine, and we'll get that done. It's time and testing, which we did none this year. I had a good friend of mine at the SCG, and he's a wonderful guy, and I love him to death, and he's probably the funniest guy I've ever met in my life. He kind of come up to me Saturday night. I was packed up, fixing back the motorhome out and leave, and just because I needed to get home and I could get some stuff done on Sunday. And this thing, we think we spun a rod bearing on the engine here, which we didn't go catastrophic. We just got to knock it come in. So I'm one of them kind of people, once that's in my mind, I'm so ready to get back Sunday and tear the engine down, which you see, I'm just now getting to it a week later. Kind of picking on me, he goes, you know, when you left here, man, you's John Force. You come back and, you know, I'm a junior dragster. You've got a junior dragster now. And I said, yeah. I said, you're right. You know, when we left, we probably was John Force. But the problem with that is, don't take this wrong, and I know it's gonna sound arrogant, and I don't mean to sound arrogant or cocky, we ain't been trying too hard. I mean, between work and obligations I have, racing ain't been a big priority. We've hit races. We literally don't go test unless we have a weekend before the race, if we got that, or we show up at the race, and we've been doing a lot of that. That being said, that's not a good excuse, but it's the excuse we have. Next year will be a different story. Now, this bad boy's making record power. The worst thing you could do is give me time to work on this car and get this car tuned. So I'm gonna go ahead and warn whoever wants to race me next year, plan on getting your ass handed to you, or I'll blow this bastard up trying. One of the two is gonna happen. But come next year, we will have our ducks in a row like we used to have. And that's what he meant. By used to, we was so prepared when we used to come to the track. We was a very big threat, no matter, even if the car was down a tenth, we was still a threat. And we'll be there again. It's just time and testing. Next year, we're going to test through the winter. We're going south to do some testing. I got some friends in Florida, so we're going to take a weekend every now and then. We're going to go south, do some testing. So we're not going to quit. We're going to run through the winter time. So when we come back in the springtime, we will be a threat. I promise you. People say, oh shit, they got that car figured out now. Here they come. So stay tuned for that. That's what we're at on the racing. Stay tuned for next year. There's going to be a lot more. We're going to do our race caps. Boogie Tech's fixing to fire back up for the winter time. We just got so busy in the industrial shop that we just didn't have time to film. And like I told you guys, there's a lot goes to this. But people don't know the time. This part right here that we're doing is kind of the easy part. The hard part's what Matt has to do after this. So, and that takes hours, especially with Rob. Rob's I'm not. I'm just kidding. I love you, Rob Pitts. You're the man. All right. So, long story short, be prepared. We got some new stuff coming up. We got some new projects in the shop. We got a cool project coming up this winter time that y'all gonna love. I think I've told y'all about the COE that we got, but you ain't seen none of it yet. And we'll start that thing. We're gonna actually roll it in here in the next few weeks and get started on it. On top of the other projects we have, which now we have a 61 Corvette in the shop too. So stay tuned. We got some new sponsors coming on board, I think, this year. We're gonna love them. We're gonna help push their products and show how good their stuff is. I gotta take 2 minutes here and talk about a person that was very dear, very special, meant a lot to me, meant a lot to this channel, and that was Meadow Dean. Meadow Dean helped me start the channel. She did help me do the first intro episode. She, was a very, very, very sweet young lady. She's a very smart, brilliant young lady. And from this point forward, always, everything's dedicated to her. She was such a sweet girl. She's gone before her time. We will miss her. We loved her. And to her family, our hearts will always be with you. So in memory of Meadow Dean, actually, I'm gonna put something on the car for her. That's where I'm at with that. She was just a sweet girl. And like I said, she's gone before her time. Chris Dunn, AKA the Boogie Man.